9, 8, 7. We have a go for main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff.
Suicide door, brand new bag. College girls give it in my raps. Rockstar life, so much money, I'll make you laugh. Hey, they hate and you can't miss what you never had. Hey, hey, off the juice, got me tripping. Cut the coupe, walker roof is missing. Ice, lemonade, my neck was tripping. Ice, lemonade, my neck was tripping.
Boys got some 60s in my bag. Lips sealed, ain't pillow talking on no rag. In my earlobe, got 2 carats, VVS. Got a penthouse near Rodeo, off of stress. All this money, when I grew up, I had nothing. Filled with backstabbing, my whole life is disgusting. Can't believe it, gotta thank God that I'm living comfortably. Getting checks, I don't believe, but she say she done with me. Burn some bridges and I let the fire light the way. Kicking my feet up, left the PJs on a PJ. Young a big dog and I walk around with no leash. I got water on me, yeah, everything on Fiji.
Zero. Suicide door, brand new bag. College girls give it in my raps. Rockstar life, so much money, I'll make you laugh. Hey, they hate and you can't miss what you never had. Hey, hey, off the juice, got me tripping. Cut the coupe, walker roof is missing. Ice, lemonade, my neck was tripping. Ice, lemonade, my neck was tripping.
I'm a rock star, pack up doors, tipping walls, hey. Raw, finit, dogs, balls, hey. I was 15, I said, with my dog, hey. Fit it, now I feel nauseous. Put up a stick and I hop on a plane, still in my wall, waist. This so risky, I gotta be gifted. He blessed me with fortune and fame. I remember from 50, I couldn't go back empty. I know I was stuck to the game. Loyal and I never change. I'm never gonna go against the grain. Never gonna be the one turn on my brother when police just gotta detain. I won't ever love it more than my mother, and that's on my government name. I can't be no sucker, ain't hating on no one. I wish everybody get paid. Cause we can't up every day. Getting hot talent in the grave.
Zero. Suicide door, brand new bag. College girls give it in my raps. Rockstar life, so much money, I'll make you laugh. Hey, they hate and you can't miss what you never had. Hey, hey, off the juice, got me tripping. Cut the coupe, walker roof is missing. Ice, lemonade, my neck was tripping. Ice, lemonade, my neck was tripping.
What is up? What is up? What is up, SFL Nation? And welcome back to SFL Nights with AJ Stryker. Thank you so much for joining me today or tonight or whenever you decided to hit that play button or turn on a radio dial. I really appreciate it, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate, you guys being here for part 2 of my Fierce Front 7 podcast. For those that don't know, I am going through positions of all positions of the SFL, player-wise. And I am kind of highlighting these positions for those that don't know much about football or maybe, just kind of want to know more about the positions and things of that nature. That's why I kind of decided to do this. So you get to hear from players. Some of these players are actually head coaches as well. So you get a little bit of different nuances for everything. So before we bring on my guests for the evening, which is DJ Killigan and Zach Benjamin tonight, Mr. Zach Boom, I am going to first go over week 9 because I had Cam on the show last week, so I didn't get a chance to do my pick'ems, didn't let you know how I fared for week 8. I have to let you know how week 9 went. Especially to all of my radio listeners out there. So thank you for your patience with that. So we're going to quickly go over week 9. I'm going to do my picks for week 10. And then we're going to slide right into the interview. So I'm not going to keep you guys too late because I do know that on the East Coast is well after 10. So we'll try to keep this ball rolling. All right. Let's get rid of this banner right quick and bring up week 9. Ooh, my week 9 review. Okay. So now, first, before we actually go through all of week 9, let me see. Did it pop up? One second, y'all. There we are. There we are. So they did some updates on StreamYard and they kind of moved everything around. So, of course, I had to try to find everything on the fly. It's all good, though. All right. So, starting things off, first, my Pick'ems results as of through week 9. Now, week 8, as of course I missed, I didn't get a chance to tell you guys. I had 8 right that week and 3 wrong. I guess I'm getting a little bit better with these picks because in week 9 I actually had 6 right and 2 wrong. So that brings me up to a total on the season of 60 guesses right and 33 wrong. So hey, I'm not doing too bad over there. I'm not doing too bad. Week 9 goes as follows though. Baltimore wins over, oh my God. Jesus, forgot all about this. But Baltimore wins over the Arizona Scorpions at home 23-20 in a very, very nerve-wracking, frustrating game. I do give Baltimore their props for beating Arizona. They did what they needed to do. We just had a series of unfortunate circumstances that occurred, that uh, kind of threw us in a situation where we just couldn't come back from. But on to the next one, right? Mexico City Aztecs took on DC Dragons, and Mexico City wins 26-3. Sin City battled the Houston Headhunters, and Houston wins 34-20. Atlanta wins over the Chicago Warriors 37-21. Queen City has been doing awesome. Shout out Queen City for turning things around and winning a lot this season. And they didn't fall short. They win over the Lexington Miners 24-17. The Riverhawks beats the Nashville Tempo 20-13. And rounding things off, Carolina Skyhawks took on the Washington Trident, where Washington comes out victorious 23-13. So on to week 10. Now, as you can clearly see, for those that don't know, I typically do all of my picks in gold. And then the picks, let me go back to that one. The picks that I actually got right, I put in green. And the ones that I got wrong, I forgot to put that there. But it's typically in orange. So moving on to week 10. All right. So I'm really, kind of excited about this week because you get a chance to actually sit back and kind of watch people see what they're going to do. Arizona, Baltimore, Houston, Mexico City, and Nashville are all on a bye this week. And we only have games on Friday and Monday of this week as well. So crunch time it is, especially since the UFL has been introduced to the league. Cam has been, trying to implement that, so we have football at least all week, if you really think about it. So it's a good thing. All right. So March 7th at 8 o'clock, the 6-2 Albuquerque Adams will be taking on the 4-3 Florida Storm at home. Normally, I will go with Florida, especially since they're at home, but they are going through it right now. So I'm actually going to pick Albuquerque to win this game. Florida, I know you hear me. Just prove me wrong on the field, man. At 8:15 on March the 7th, the Indianapolis Ramblers, sitting at 3-4, will be taking on the Atlanta Swarm, also at 3-4. So it's a battle of 3 and 4s. I'm going to give Atlanta the edge because they will be at home during this game. Also on Friday at 10:15 p.m. Eastern, the Fort Worth Toros, 4-3, will be taking on the Bossier City Steamers, also at 4-3. Good game. I'm going to give this edge over to Bossier City. I mean, Fort Worth definitely is no team to sleep on, but I just like the energy that Bossier City brings, and I love their defense. So I think that is going to be a problem for Fort Worth. But we'll see. We will see. 0-6 and at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. The 0-6. OKC Renegades will be taking on the 6-1 Washington Trident. I'm going to give, of course, the edge to Washington on this. Maybe, if OKC, play the cards right, they could any given sim day, but I just don't know if it's going to be this one against this team. On Monday, skipping all the way from Saturday, Sunday on to Monday, March the 10th at 1 p.m. Eastern. The 2-6 Chicago Warriors will be taking on the 5-4 Carolina Skyhawks. Great game to watch, but I am going to give the edge over. I know he's going to be so mad when it come up. I know I'm going to hear about it. To the Carolina Skyhawks, it will be a home game for them. Actually, the last few games I'm going to be giving to the home teams, such as on 1:15 p.m. Eastern. The 2-6 Charleston Predators will be taking on the 4-4 Sin City Samurai. I'm going to go with Samurai on this one. Charleston has been struggling. And, I think that the focus should definitely be on how to get their offense more involved. And I think that they will see a big turnaround. But for now, I'm going to give it to Sin City. At 8:00 p.m. Eastern, the 4-4 Lexington Miners will be taking on the 4-3 DC Dragons. I'm going to give that edge to DC. 8:15 p.m. Eastern, the Denver Nightwings, 4-3, will be taking on the Minnesota Legends, 5-2. I think Minnesota is going to be the stronger option in this game, but we'll see. I'm looking at it from a coaching standpoint, actually, if I'm talking about these games, especially the Minnesota and Denver. And 10:15 p.m. Eastern, the 5-2 Vancouver Legion will be taking on the 2-6 LA Lycans. I thought LA was going to put on a more stronger showing than they have been. I mean, it's still time left in the season, but I think that Vancouver is going to come out victorious on this road win. And last game, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, the 3-5 Pittsburgh Riverhawks will be taking on the 5-4 Queen City Corsairs. I am going with Queen City on this. And, I am really, I'm not on Queen City. And I just get so hyped for teams that have been known to struggle, And I just want to say this. I'm going to put this out there. If you are one of those teams like Queen City and you're finally finding your footing and people are now starting to give you notice, you may realize that you are also getting some hate there. Please don't be discouraged, because 9 times out of 10, the people that are hating on you are doing way worse than you. So they have nothing else to do with their time but to poke fun at you and make you upset. Don't let them. As a matter of fact, this is probably the best season that you guys have had in a very long time. So don't let people get to you. You got to remember that, guys. It's all a fun. It's all a game. But also look at who's talking. And that'll help you decipher whether you want to get up in arms about it or if you just want to let it roll off your back. All right. I am going to go ahead and get my guests ready to come up. I'm going to play one more song and I'm going to bring them up. And we will be right back.
Dime, esto es lo que tú querías. Yo soy fino, esto es trap de galería. Tú eres un charro, Rocky de aquí, una porquería. Yo un campeón, Rocky Marciano, Rocky Balboa, Rocky Balbía. Tengo la ruta, tengo la vía, sí, tengo la vía. Los gastos de noche facturo todo el día. Tanta plata que me gusta que me chapen. Por eso le meto a tetas al pía. Ustedes no saben lo que es estar en alta mar cuando siento cuero. Que los zapatos te me en el cielo. Lo que tira el 500,000 en horas. Por eso tu opinión me importa cero. Por eso tú estás 101 en el top 100 y yo estoy primero. Ya no son raperos, ahora son pocateros. Más que tú estás cobrando mi barbero. Y estoy viajando en el mundo entero. Ay. Bebiendo mucha champaña, nunca estamos secos. Primero llegó Verstappen, después llegó Checo. Si Pablo me viera dirá que soy un berraco. Ustedes hablando mierdillo, los míos por Monaco. Bebiendo mucha champaña, nunca estamos secos. Están hablando solo, están hablando con el eco. El signo del dinero, ese es mi nuevo zodiaco. Prende un puro, la familia está en Monaco.
J'avais 20 ans, je caressais le temps et jouais de la vie comme on joue de l'amour et je vivais la nuit sans compter sur mes jours qui fuyaient dans le temps.
Créeme, los carros de F1 son más rápidos en persona. Sofía Vergara es linda, pero es más linda en persona. Lo que tú hagas a mí no me impresiona. Es como meter un gol después de Messi y Maradona. A ti no te conocen ni en tu barrio. Ayer estaba con LeBron, también con DiCaprio. Me preguntaron que cómo me fue en los estadios. Hablamos de la familia y temas de millonarios. Digo, multimillonario. Digo, de billonario. Hace rato sin cojones que me tiene la radio. Hace rato me quité del trap, yo se lo dejé el audio. Uy, querido diario, y me depositaron a los Grammy, nominaron. Otra vez me criticaron y ninguna me importaron. Ya sigo tranquila en la mía. Don Vito, Don Vena de los Beatles. John Lennon a mis nietos cuando muera les va a dejar sin terreno. A todas mis doñas las pompis en el sol. Y a mi haters un F40 sin los frenos. ¿Pa' qué? Pa' que se estrellen, pa' que se maten. Rojo, blanco, negro, mate. ¿Cuál tú quieres? ¿Pa' qué? Pa' que se estrellen, pa' que se maten. Que pa' descansen, yo sigo en el yate. Ey, bebiendo mucha champaña, nunca estamos secos. Primero llegó Verstappen, después llegó Checo. Si Pablo me viera dirá que soy un berraco. Ustedes hablando mierdillo, los míos por Monaco. Bebiendo mucha champaña, nunca estamos secos. Están hablando solo, están hablando con el eco. El signo del dinero, ese es mi nuevo zodiaco. Prende un fili, la familia está en Monaco.
J'avais 20 ans, je caressais le temps et jouais de la vie comme on joue de l'amour et je vivais la nuit sans compter sur mes jours qui fuyaient dans le temps.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. I am joined with two good friends of mine, Mr. Zach Benjamin and Mr. DJ Killagun. Uh-oh. Did I say that? Did I say it right? Killagun. Uh-oh. Killagaganon. Oh, you did.
I'm muted. That's what it is. Kilgannon. You almost had it.
Kilgannon.
I blame myself. I told Cam it wrong from the get-go. I mean, I take the blame on that one.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Well, I want to thank both of y'all for being here. I know that you probably just did you have a call tonight, DJ?
I did, yeah.
Oh, man. So you got called. You gaming planning. You had a game tonight, Zach.
Yeah, the game just ended.
Yeah, it did. I've never been more jealous about being able to be on a call.
Oh, really?
Man,
Let's tell us about it. Tell us how it was.
Oh man, Zach, be my guest.
Man, see, I'm gonna give you background on what's going on with this, with what you're seeing. So I guess like I kind of kickstarted like going empty all the time. I just love going empty all the time. I got six wide receivers. You know what I mean? So trying to get everybody involved. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna run. I love Hawaii. I love college football. I'm gonna run my little Hawaii offense. It caused a little uproar. A few people. I saw a few people chipping the style a little bit. Chicago. I played against Chicago. Chicago went empty the whole game, 2 tight ends.
Yeah.
Kept me in the 4-3. So I'm like, all right, I saw that. Art must have been watching because last time I played San Jose, they did the same thing. 2 tight ends empty, kept the AI, kept me in the 4-3 the whole game. So I'm like, all right, it's not gonna happen again. So I just studied the film. So I'm like, all right, if you're gonna go 2 tight ends empty the whole game and keep me in the 4-3, I'm gonna put this play and this play in there and see, and just let it do what it do. I mean, but shout out to them, and they totally stopped the passing offense. I mean, the run game saved me. The run game saved me, man. But they completely shut down the pass. So shout out and kudos to them for doing that. But they wasn't gonna burn me with it a third time.
And you didn't even mention 4 pick sixes. 4 pick sixes in one game.
They wasn't gonna burn me with that a third time.
4 pick sixes in one game from his defense.
I've been mad as hell. I'm telling you right now.
I'm sure Brady White's kicking himself somewhere. Oh man.
Man. You said Brady?
Yeah, I'm sure Brady White's somewhere not very happy about that.
Yeah, shout out to the linebackers, man. It's fitting that this is the front 7 show, man, because shout out to all 3 of them linebackers, man. Crackle, Fence, Spearroll, Flint. They killed them.
Mm-hmm.
They shout out to them, man. Shout out to them.
Well, congratulations, man. And I admire that you know, it's important that when you are a coach that you learn from your mistakes and how you so elegantly put like, hey, you're not going to burn me. I see what you're doing and I'm going to find a way to counteract that, you know, and do it. You know what I mean? That's dope. And I admire that tenacity and, you know, and that drive because, you know, some people say they have it, but you can see it on the field. You know what I mean? That's not, you know, you can see through the play on the field. So, but congratulations. So I want to know, fellas, let's start off with some easy questions. First of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. DJ, I believe this is your first time actually on the show, period.
Yeah, my first time.
So welcome, first off. And then let us know. I want to know, if you want to tell us your age, that's fine. But give us some interesting facts about yourself, where you're from, and your favorite football team.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'm DJ Kilgannon. Joined the league in 2022. I'm 20 years old. I'll be 21 in June. So come convention time, be ready to party. You know what I'm saying?
Toast up.
I'm about an hour west from Oklahoma City. So I live in Oklahoma. And my favorite football team is the Minnesota Vikings. Been a fan of them for a very, very long time. But love playing. I'm a gamer. I love playing games. I love Dungeons and Dragons. I'm a big nerd, huge nerd. Yes. But really, my main passion is sports broadcasting. It's something I've wanted to get into for a long time, and this league's gave me the opportunity to do that. So,
and you've been doing a great job too, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. That's one of the things I do like about this league, where you wouldn't normally have the opportunity to call a game or perform stats or learn how to cut videos. I didn't know how to edit videos and things like that until I was actually helping with the multimedia team back in the day, where we actually had to cut our own highlights. Yeah. So it's amazing, you know, what you get for your money here, you know?
Yep, absolutely.
So, Zach, were you always head coach over in Nashville, or did this kind of?
Oh no, I'm not head coach. James Walters is head coach.
Okay, so James Walters is head coach, and you're coach of the OC.
Yeah. Well, I kind of inherited it. I started off as the DC, and they made a switch and put me as the OC.
All right. I was a little confused because I was trying to figure out, because Jay was on the Streets of Talking last night. And so I was kind of trying to piece everything together. So why Why did both of you choose to be linebackers though? I know like you're outside, you chose to be an outside linebacker, Zach, and I want to know why.
Because quarterback wasn't available.
That's a good answer.
I mean, and look, y'all lucky.
That's a good answer.
Y'all lucky.
All right. So you wanted to be a quarterback, but since that wasn't you just went with the outside linebacker position. Huh?
There's my favorite player is Lawrence Taylor. So I'm like, all right, it's gonna take a while to build this player, but once I get to that Lawrence Taylor build it's curse.
I feel you. I feel you. So DJ, why did you choose to be a linebacker?
You know, when I joined, I was kind of just looking at the. I knew I wanted to be a defensive player, because offense they get all the flashes and all that, but defense has always just kind of shined to me. And to be honest, I just wanted to hit people. I just wanted to see me make some big hits. So I was like, I chose to be an inside linebacker, and yeah, ever since then I've been playing it. And then switch outside linebacker a little bit, but it's just fun. Big hits, you know what I mean? Stopping the run, it's a good time.
So linebackers are considered to be the quarterbacks of the defense, and they play a crucial role in both the pass coverage and run defense. So I want to know, how well does your player balance these responsibilities and keep a competitive edge at the same time?
Well, I say right now where my build is at is just it's all physical. I still gotta add a lot of the mental parts of the game. Like my composure is in the basement. Like you know what I mean. So I gotta get that up. My leadership is like kind of mid level. Got to get that up. My consistency, I made sure I got my consistency up. So my consistency is pretty on par with the league average. Physically, I think I'm way above average in every physical trait. So once I'm able to get my mental kind of like attributes up, then I think I'll be able to balance like both sides. But right now, my player is basically like a wrecking ball.
I never looked at it like that too. Physical and mental attributes. I never looked at them that way. So that's a good way to shed new light on that. DJ? DJ, what about you then? Can you hear me?
Well, yeah. So I'm basically about the exact opposite of Zach then. My players got all them bumps in the brain stats. I mean, I was on Canton, so my leadership's solid. My leadership's where it's at. You know what I mean? But I've been working at getting them other stats up. My composure's getting there little by little. I've been doing it the last few weeks. And, we're also working on my coverage a little bit. It's not where I'd like it to be. There's way too many times where it looks like my guy's standing in wet cement, just sitting there trying to cover a wide receiver or a tight end. And it just get caught over my head. And it's frustrating. But stopping the run, that's where I see myself as a linebacker wanting to shine. You know what I mean? Because, corners and safeties, they can stop the pass. But, yeah, I think stopping the run is really a really important part of it. Like Zach said, being physical, being able to tackle people solo and all that sort of stuff.
Gotcha. I was going to ask a follow-up question, but then I lost it. I'm going to be honest with you. It's kind of late. And it just went, I had it, and then it just left. So don't worry. I got another one. Can you share I want to hear two memorable moments from you, a positive one and a negative one that you noticed about a game that you had. Where maybe it's a recent game that you had where you made a difference, or maybe it was something, or it was a recent game where like your player was buns and they just didn't do what they were supposed to do. Hands of stone. I want to hear about both those moments. And I'm gonna start with you first, DJ.
Well, I mean, heartbreaking losses. I can go to 2 back-to-back championships for that. But I think I'll go to Florida because our Vandelay looked like he was covered in some Vaseline jelly. Nobody could tackle him. It was ridiculous. He's just slipping off tackles like we're children. It was like he was playing against peewees. It was that was my second year in the league and we made it to the championship and they just put it to us. Oh man. It was so frustrating to see. But that's part of it. Florida, they put a good game plan together, but as far as a big performance goes, this is really my first season where I've been a starter on a defense. I played behind Kevin Brackett and Canton, so it's like I didn't see the field much. But for Chicago, I was in the voting for Defensive Player of the Week a while back, and that was the week. Who was it? I think it was Sharon had maybe 3 picks or something like that. So I knew he was going to get it, but I had a really good game, and I was really proud to see my player be able to put up numbers like that.
Indeed. Zach, what about you?
Well, I say I'll go big first. My biggest moment so far was week 1 of this season. I got a pick against BCS, my former team. It almost turned the tide of the game. We could have we could have gone on and scored, but things, we ended up losing by a little over a score, but it felt good to get a pick in week 1. And against the team I played for. But I nothing but love to BCS, but it's always good when you do something like that. As far as the hardest, I'd have to say the whole game against Florida this season. That whole game, man, like they had the backup quarterback and their coaches are on suspension, so we're like, man, like we're definitely gonna get a win here. Like this is our week, and it just didn't work out that way. So that whole game was hard.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. Trust me, man. I've been there. I know that feeling when you make it to the top and you just can't get quite there. You know what I mean? Like yeah. And DJ, I think you probably had it. Your mom was probably a little bit worse because I think you went undefeated that year, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. And then we played. We cruised to the championship, and then have Florida. I don't know which was worse, that or Mexico City. Because with Mexico City, I had to hear about it every week from Dags on the calls. Florida, it was just kind of that. But Mike, he's always got that ring on. I'm always watching the show, so I'm like, oh gosh, you know what I mean?
You gonna remind you
every time.
So I'm curious, it's interesting that both of your players are kind of built different, which leads me to if someone is, a rookie that's watching, you talked about the physical and you talked about the mental aspects of building a player. So what should be the primary focus for someone that is new coming into the league and they have no idea where to start? Where would you advise them to start as a defensive player? Considering the new information that we got from Cam as far as how the cap goes and all this other stuff too.
Well, the linebacker, in my opinion, is a physical position. Well, not an outside linebacker is. Middle inside isn't as, I don't want to say as, it's more cerebral than outside.
Okay.
Put it that way. You still got to be athletic, but it's more of a cerebral position. So, for example, if you're playing the mic, you're more concerned with coverage. You're more concerned with consistency, composure, stuff like that. If you're playing, the will of the sand, you want to more focus on things like speed, agility, because running backs don't come around the corners. I would focus more on pass rush, or depending on what scheme you're in. But if outside linebacker, in my opinion, you got to be able to have solid pass rush, solid run coverage. You can get away with not having a high as coverage depending on what scheme you're in. But if you're a new guy, I say if you're playing inside, work on your coverage and then the mental attributes. actually playing outside, work on your physical and pass rush.
Okay, DJ, you pretty much agree.
Completely. One way I kind of always looked at it, at least from when I played in the minors, uh, try and get those important stats as soon as you can because they're going to be a little bit cheaper when you're in the minors. So try and get those while you can before you come up to the major leagues and they're costing 400,000 just to upgrade your tackle one time. It's going to take you all season to get your tackle up once. So get it up while you can. And like Zach said, if you play the middle, your coverage has to be where it's at, and yeah, on the outside, just be as physical as you can, fast as you can, strong as you can. Yeah, he hit it right on the head.
So, what do you feel is an attribute that defensive players are progressing? Because lately I've been hearing things about speed. Hey, speed may not be that important for some positions, things of that nature. Not saying for that one, but like, do you think that people, or there is one or two attributes that people tend to kind of gravitate towards that they probably don't have to?
I think, and this is just my opinion. I could be wrong. I don't do any coaching or anything like that. I think aggressiveness is one that people might think, and in certain situations it could work really well. But there's some situations, let's say you got aggressiveness on the linebacker, and his first instinct is, oh, let's shoot the gap. Maybe it's a run, and then the ball gets thrown right over his head. You know what I mean? So aggressiveness could really bite you. But other than that, maybe I think that's the biggest one that I always think of when it comes to stats I don't really need. Because since I've been in the league, I don't think I've ever upgraded aggressiveness once. And
oh wow, okay.
But other than that,
okay. Zach, what about you? Any overrated attributes that you think exist?
That's such a hard question because I don't think any of them are overrated. Like I think like they all play a part. They're all important. Especially in 2K games. Like it's a lot of purists that are behind the X's. The ones and the zeros designing those games. Like I don't know if you remember like the old school games, man. I'm old enough to remember NBA Jam and all of those, man. Like when you only had like 3 attributes, but those 3 or 6 attributes, they calculated and they gave you hidden stats. So I see a lot of the same thing in 2K, man. You have your attributes you see, but there's still hidden stats. There's hidden attributes in there. So I think it's important to have all of them at a baseline at a certain level. If I just for argument's sake, if I had to pick one that I thought was overrated, I mean, I've had arguments with people back and forth. Most recently, Thump, and I might agree with him. Maybe like tackle, just for argument's sake. Like, you might not have to have a tackle rating that's so high. You know what I mean? You can save a lot of money for your team. You can save yourself some money. So, for argument's sake, now me, I like a high tackle, but
I know that's right. Let's talk a little bit about your teams. Now I want to hear from DJ. So DJ, you were on Canton, and then you made the switch over to Chicago.
Yes. Yep.
How has that transition been? And considering that you came from kind of a winning atmosphere and you go into one that's not so much, how's that affecting you?
Yeah, so it's interesting. So I was drafted to Queen City.
Okay.
And I think we went 2-14 or 4-12 or something like that. It was the season right before their losing season. So it was when they still had a little bit of wins. So I went from losing to undefeated, 2 back-to-back championships, and then back to, losing again. So for me, it's not all about winning. Winning's fantastic. But a big part of it for me is just being in a group that I really get along with. And that's not to say, that's no disrespect to anyone that can. I love those guys. Mike All, Talon Steele is doing great stuff over there now that he's taken the reins. a lot of those guys I really love over there. But Chicago, it's just I really get along with everybody there. And I think the biggest thing is despite the teams not as good, not being as successful as you'd want, everybody still has high spirits. Everybody's still talking. They'll still coach in the chat. People come in and watch and learn. I've been trying to do a lot of that, learn from Mike O'Neill and Type Attack, because I think those guys are great at what they do. Despite the losing that we've been having recently, I think they're pretty well respected. And, come game day, everybody's in the chat watching the game, having a good time. It's just the atmosphere, really, because I think if an atmosphere is great in a locker room, especially if that team is not doing well, it's a really good sign.
Yeah, that's important because
Yep.
you're going to have to stick around for something.
Yeah.
And that's just being real. You're paying your money and, you want to see your team win. You want to see a player do well. But when you do have that other aspect of the team that you can go in and you can vibe with and you can just talk about everything and it's not solely based on the wins and losses, then yeah. Now, Zach, with you being over in Nashville and with the transition, from Jay being the OC to you now being the OC, and then your journey, just tell us about that and how you're feeling at this moment.
Well, I mean, you're never feeling good when you don't have a win. So I think that part of it is hard, but there's a lot of camaraderie in the locker room. There's a lot of guys that are still committed to trying to get a win and finish the season strong. Just because we're winless now doesn't mean we have to finish winless. And of course, for me, gives me something to still coach for. I can still play spoiler to a lot of teams. So I can ruin some teams, playoff hopes and dreams maybe. So, that kind of gets me up a little bit. But the locker room is pretty solid. There's the core group of guys is pretty solid.
Okay. Now, what is your experience compared to being in Bossier City when you were in Bossier City?
Bossier City, the locker room I'll say was more active. Bossier City, I say it's a very big, tight-knit group. In my experience, I know I was kind of I was so focused on winning that I know I probably could have talked more in the Bossier City locker room, which I did talk some, but I was basically just my mind state. I'm in the dungeon just making playbooks, scouting, trying to get us wins. Contrast to Nashville is it's kind of suit and tie. But I will say shout out to Guy Clausen, man. That dude, man, he's probably the most amazing person you can have in a locker room, man. If it wasn't for him, I know that spirits wouldn't be as high as they are because he's probably the most consistent person in the entire SFL as far as I've seen, as far as being on on the ball with everything, every single day consistently. So big shout out to Guy Clausen. He's a gem in the locker room.
Indeed. Good dude. I love Guy. You have a question in the chat from Eddie. He wants to know, how do you prepare for opposing defenses?
Opposing defenses? So the way I scout is a little different from maybe the more common or popular way I've seen a lot of people scout. I go more for tendencies. So if I'm preparing for a defense, of course, it's part of the screen is kind of cut off, so you can't see everything all the time. You can see the front seven. You can't really see what the DBs are doing all the time, especially the safeties. But you can kind of like, and shout out to Greg Soto, man, because he kind of and Albert Begin, man. Greg Soto and Albert Begin, man. They showed me how to do things. I mean, I can't give out too much game for free. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But there's a there's a
It's a
there's a
process.
well, basically I took what they told me, put my own little spin on it. But to answer the question, I say I look to see what a team does. Like who gets the ball the most. I mean, defenses. I'm sorry, not offense, opposing defenses. I look to see where on defense. I look to see where the action is funneled. So you'll see certain teams have certain teams that, for example, you'll have one outside linebacker who pass rushes better than all the rest of them, right? So if I know if he's the best pass rusher, and normally I'm not 8 times out of 10, he'll probably be on the same side as the best edge rusher on the line. That's where I'm going to force my action. That's where I'm going to say, all right, look, maybe a rollout there I can get around, maybe send a fullback tight end out to that side. So I really look to see where their action is, and I exploit the mismatches in their action.
All right then. T the Queen checking in. What's up, lady? I'm so glad you're here, baby. Thank you for being here. Hi. You're here. You're on time. You made it. You made it before we close, so you're all good. DJ, how do you prepare to call a game? For anybody that's interested in being a broadcaster at some point, describe how you prepare. Like,
Yeah,
because I tried it once, man, and I was just like, "What? Nah, y'all can have it."
that's a good question. So when it comes to the major leagues, Mike Daggs, he gives you all the information you could ever want, more information that you could need. My brain still can't process everything that dude has on our research sheet. If somebody went into the game just with the research sheet, they'd be fine, honestly. But there's a few other things I like to do. I do a lot of SFLM games, and there's not a research sheet for those games. So, like, I'm a big pen and paper guy, so I'll go through, look at the stats for the season. Kind of go over things that each team does well, team struggle with, a high point of each team. And then sometimes I'll try. Zach knows I bother him all the time with DM questions. I'll go around and DM head coaches. I'll be like, hey, anything you can give me about the game, something I can throw on the broadcast, make me seem a little bit smarter than I am. Sometimes that'll help. Coaches throwing me a bone every once in a while, telling me something to expect. And it's just it's not too much prep, especially in the major leagues, just seeing what milestones are coming up for players, certain things like that, tendencies for the teams. And really the biggest thing is showing up a little bit beforehand so you can communicate with your other guy or girl, just so you be on point, kind of have a flow of what you want to do, and building chemistry with the other people in the booth is a big part of it.
So, what do you say is one challenging aspect about being a broadcaster?
Challenging. So, kind of just keeping it. It's really easy to get kind of dazed out. At least for me, I've always been like this. Like I'll kind of like hard focus on something, or I'll be reading the chat for a second, and then I'll look up, and the play happened, and I'm like, oh crap, play's gone. Then you just got to kind of make something up. You don't know what happened. He's like, and then I'm an analyst, so the play-by-play guy finishes his call, and he's waiting for me to start talking, and I'm like, yeah, that was a good play. You just gotta make something up, because it's pretty easy to get out of focus unless you're really locked in at all times. But trying to keep focus for me is a big thing, because I like getting involved with the chat. I like reading the chat, trying to get everybody involved. But besides that, like I said, I think really Daggs, he's a really good broadcast director. He makes it super easy for us. And the stats guys, I can't forget them. They make it so easy, because some people might not know the stats people, when they take stats, that's not what's going on the website. They're just there to provide the broadcaster stats live. So we'll have a page up that says what stats are happening in the game. So when a broadcaster's like, "Oh, Ashley Jackson, 0 sacks, throw 3 touchdowns, 300 yards," like, dang, how does you remember all that? It ain't us. All them guys in the stats truck are keeping it updated every single play. You know what I mean? So there's a whole crew that just makes it super easy and make it a really good time.
I love it. I love it. Everybody in the chat, if you have any questions for my guests, feel free to put them in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to ask away. But we kind of hit on all of the points that I really wanted to talk about. But I wanted to know, what are some of your long?
What was your question?
I'm not sure if you heard me. So, what are some of your long-term goals for the SFL? Do you seek to, Zach? Do you seek to be a head coach or maybe an owner someday? DJ, do you feel like you want to tip your hat into the owner or maybe get into the coaching realm?
Well, for me, as far as my player goes, I just want to make an all-star game at some point. That's my main goal. I just want to make an all-star game, really. But as far as everything else, I am actively trying to get involved in coaching. I've taken pretty big leaps with that. Mike O'Neill has been a huge help with that. He helped me get the emulator set up. Not even last week we got it set up. We spent a little while getting it done, and hopefully get to work with him and Ty some. And then for broadcasting, I just want to keep doing it, really. Make more people know my name. Really, that's it. Maybe know my voice. That's a really big thing for me.
Indeed. What about you, Zach? Any long-term goals that you want to accomplish?
I got a few. Mainly build a dynasty. Have fun with my friends, my fiance. Cause I got some players in the league with me. So that's really what it is, man. Total domination with my peoples. Other than that, I really don't have any aspirations to be an owner. If I was an owner, I'd have to have a really good GM because I'm not doing none of that stuff. I'm all about the playbooks.
I know that's right.
Somebody else focus on it. Yeah, somebody else can look at any. I'll go half, and look, you can do all that. Like, you know what I mean?
I love it. I love it. Y'all plan on going to the convention this year?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's in the plans. I wanted to go last year, but I'm really hoping I get to go this year. I should be able to. I'm about 98% sure. So.
Okay, I love it. It'd be great to hang out.
You got an earbuds.
Yeah. Zach, Zach, is she around? Is your wife around?
She had her earbuds in. Usually, like she'll yell or comment when I say something like that, but she got her earbuds in. She ain't hear me.
Oh, so I said, hey, if she want to come on and say hi, she can. I love that. Oh, I look like a whole whodunit ran.
Oh, man.
But yeah, we're gonna be there. We're gonna be there.
I can't wait. I'm gonna wait till you're ready, ma'am. But I would love to see you. Hopefully before then, that'd be great. I love hearing from especially when it's couples in the league. I love hearing like the Bonnie and Clyde stories. It's always dope. Yeah. But I'm not gonna hold you too long, gentlemen. I do have. Well, T the Queen says, "Listen, I just want to be an all-star someday, and ma'am, I believe you will. I believe you will.
Okay? Oh yeah,
for sure.
I believe in you. You too. She's definitely a star. All right, so a couple of fun questions, and then I'm gonna let you go. A couple of would you rather.
Gosh,
We got to think of.
Oh, Eddie says, well, sorry guys. Eddie says, tell your wife if she will ever be a Scorpion, she has to be an extrovert.
Listen, be careful what you wish for.
Oh my God. I love it. All right. So I'm not sure about these. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. These would you rather questions came off the internet, so I can't take full responsibility for it. But there's one in particular that I heard from two people that was roasting each other. And it got me to thinking, if you had to choose between these two things, like if you had to, which would you be? So the roasters, they were talking. One dude says, hey, you're built like an evil light bulb. I said, damn, I didn't know what an evil light bulb looked like. Shit. Okay. Other dude said, hey, you built like a deep breath. I'm like, damn, I ain't even know. I ain't even do that. So, gentlemen, would you rather be built like an evil light bulb or a deep breath?
I'm taking the evil light bulb.
Zach, I'm right there with you because at least I can light up a room, man.
Right? At least you bright sometimes.
At least you lighten up the room. A deep breath is crazy.
That means so many things.
A deep breath is wild.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be a deep breath in certain situations.
Nah, for sure. Nah, you can miss me with that. An evil light bulb.
Bro, when I heard that, I literally laughed for like 5 minutes straight because I kept hearing it. I kept hearing the exchange.
Oh, man.
Okay. Would you rather be cold all the time or hot all the time?
I know you. Oh wait, no, I'm mixing people up. I'd rather be cold all the time.
Yeah, give me cold all the time. I'm from a cold place, so I'm used to being like. And plus, when you're like cold, like you can always get a little. You can try to get a little warm, but if you get too hot, man, it is.
I don't like sweating.
It's torture.
You're down in Arizona, so we know what your answer is about to be.
120 degrees all day.
Oh no. Even them low 90s a little too hot for me. I start getting burnt. You know what I mean?
Man. Well, it's different.
Start wearing the sun hat. You know,
it's different. If it was 115 degrees and I was back in Georgia, I'm gonna die because that humidity is too much. But out here, it feels different. Now, don't get it twisted. Your car is hot. I got a black car, so you already know that bad boy is scorching. I can cook a whole meal. You know,
got them leather seats gonna burn your skin. Yeah, no.
Glad I ain't got the leather seats. I'm smart.
Thankfully. You thought about it. Yeah.
I did. Space. If you had a chance to explore something in depth, would you rather explore space or the ocean? In depth.
For me, it's easy. It's space all day.
Like being actually there. Oh.
Yeah, you're gonna be literally going through.
Man, the ocean's scary.
Yeah, I don't want to be in the ocean.
The ocean is scary.
The ocean.
Eddie said, "A deep breath sounds diabolical."
Nah, it do.
You know what I mean? Like you go into outer space, man. Like who knows what you might find? Like you might, might make contact with other life. Might be dope. Like in the ocean, man. Like are you gonna have like sharks and whales trying to eat you? Like there's not for me.
Not for me.
I don't know because we don't know a lot what's in the ocean though. Like so, it might be some things down there we just have no idea. But I would feel like you would have more adventures in space. Like I feel like you'd have more to do and explore in space because it's so vast versus being on one planet. So if you could speak telepathically to anyone, or if you could understand every language, which one would you prefer?
That's hard.
Yeah, it is.
That's hard.
You either don't know what everybody's saying, or you can talk to somebody without even moving your mouth.
Well, only one person?
Yes. Well, I'll say you could talk to anybody, but they may not be able to respond back to you though. But they can hear you.
So you're gonna make somebody go crazy is what's gonna happen. Yeah. You can start talking in their head and they can think they're crazy.
Yeah.
I'd have to go. I'd have to go with the telepathy, just because like there's for example, like you can use that anywhere, but if you're only around people that only speak your language, then like you're kind of like limited, like you can't use your power. But telepathy, that's 24/7.
I'll probably take the multilingualness. That's gonna get me a big pay raise at work. That's gonna give me a big pay bump.
Yeah,
if it don't, I'm taking it to OSHA.
Telepathy, I'll run in the bank. No gun, nothing. Give me the money. Your head will explode.
I heard somebody say
yeah. You know what? That's a good point. They call you Superman, right? You know the power is better than me, man. I'll let you have full. I believe in your confidence there.
Oh my God.
Oh man, you wild, DJ.
All right, now this one is a little bit more of depends. It could be a little bit more of a serious question. You have a chance to have dinner with two people. They could be famous or not. They could be living or not living. Who would you choose and why?
It's a good question.
I know mine.
Be my guest. I got to think.
Michael Jordan, Tom Brady.
You said Tom Brady. Yeah.
I'm obsessed with like the champion mind, like the championship like mindset. You know what I mean? Like if I had a third, it'd be Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like what wills a person to just be a champion, like on that level. Like I'm kind of like obsessed with it.
Okay. And you want to get into the mind of a champion so it can rub off on you.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Doug says, DJ, let's have dinner. You are invited to dinner, sir.
Hey, you just got to make the drive, or I'll make the drive. We can meet in the middle. I'm willing, man.
You know what it's going to end with? Twinkies.
Hey, you can keep them. I might have to say this a little quiet because Doug ain't gonna like it, but I don't like no Twinkies. He might kick me out of Chicago for that, but I might have to hide my face after that. I don't know, but just not for. I don't know.
I know somebody ain't coming back.
Yeah. Y'all might not see me on the field next week or in the booth. If you don't, somebody talk to Doug. To answer your question, though, I don't know. I'd probably go with my great grandpa, and then my little brother. I think that's who I'd pick.
Okay, why?
My great grandpa passed away, and I didn't get to spend too much time with him. It is a while ago he passed away. I didn't get to spend too much time with him, not as much as I liked. He lived pretty far away, so I'd love the chance to get to maybe hear some more stories of his life growing up, and my little brother, just because that's my best friend. You know what I mean? I love hanging out with him, and I think both of us with him just get to hear a lot about his life growing up and all that sort of stuff. I think it'd be a good time.
Respect.
Definitely. All right, last question, guys. You are on a island where you have food. Food is not a problem. You got coconuts, all that good stuff, right? The problem is you're going to be out there for a year. You can only take one thing with you, not a person. One thing. What would it be? You got food. That's covered.
Mm-hmm.
M60.
What? Why?
Because I'm gonna be by myself on an island. Like, who knows what's out there?
But you're by yourself, bro. Like,
I mean, but are there other animals, like, or is just no wildlife whatsoever?
Well, I don't know about all that now. I ain't say I don't know about all that now.
Right, like it could be bears, like it could be anything.
You can have an iguana, maybe. You ain't got no bear on tropical island. You're not gonna have a rhino. You befriend the rhino.
All right, so if there's no dangerous wildlife, let me see. I don't know. You gotta let DJ.
Oh,
you gotta think.
Doug, what are we doing?
I
don't know about all that, Doug. I don't know about all that.
Eddie said he'll take his emulator so he can keep coaching. But bro, you don't have no electricity, Eddie. You don't have electricity.
He's gonna have it there sitting on the beach, hoping he could coach. Now I can't say like a helicopter, right, and get out of there.
Oh no. You're gonna stay your butt there for a whole year.
Man,
so you gonna take a gun with you that a whole year?
I mean,
okay, I'm
protection. So I'm gonna change mine. I'm gonna let DJ go.
I'd probably bring a bed. You know what I mean? I'd probably bring a bed, nice little bed, because I'm gonna survive on that. I'm gonna make me a whole house. I'm gonna make me a little shack. I'm a survivor enthusiast. I'm gonna survive. I'm gonna make me a house. You know what I mean? Zach knows. I'm gonna make me a little shack. We set up my bed in there. See, I can be as hungry as I want. There's one way I always think about it. Either I'm gonna be hungry, but I'm gonna sleep good that night, or I'm gonna be well fed and I ain't gonna sleep good. And I'd rather sleep in a comfy bed. So that's my pick. I'm gonna give me a nice,
cool.
What they call it, memory foam. I don't know. A nice little bed up there.
Okay.
Hey, right, you know what? I said no, and see, he always got to be extra. I said no person. Of course, you bring somebody to help pass the time. That's too easy. And he said it'll be solar powered. Eddie, just go sit down.
That's not a bad thought. He thought about it.
I'm sure.
All right, so
but then that's another mouth you have to feed. See, and then
thing
is she gonna be complaining the whole time, like, "Hey, why did you take me here? Why are we doing it? Why is?" Did you forget about that?
Yeah, I did. Okay. You got me.
All right. So one question.
Oh my God.
With the unlimited food, does water count with that too? Just like unlimited water too?
No.
Oh, so you're gonna die.
Yeah, so all right, so that's easy. I'm gonna bring a
you got coconuts. See, you got coconuts.
Oh, I'm gonna bring a
coconut
pot.
Water.
I'm gonna bring a pot so I can boil water.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
there
that's that survivor instinct coming out. I see you, Zach. Okay.
I don't know if you was gonna be able to cut anything with the M6. I mean, you might be able to, just shoot a few things. But you gonna sleep on the gun? That's what my thing was. I was just trying to. I'm still.
Oh yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna make a house without being able to cut down trees. Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. What would you bring?
Machete.
That's it.
Guess what? I mean, I can only take one thing. I'm gonna have to climb. Well, I actually ain't climbing shit, so I don't know how the hell I'm gonna get that damn coconut out of that tree.
Yeah,
eventually I'd be able to push a tree over if I went at it for a year. I'm just saying. Eventually.
You would.
My big ass gonna climb up that tree and weigh it down.
You can have all the food you want. Without water, you gone.
Mm-hmm.
I would. I would bring that, or either a fire starter, because you gotta. It's survivalist. You have to have fire. You have to have water, right?
But if
It
you're
was
only
something
picking
else.
one, you can start a fire just with rocks and stuff on the island. But there's nothing on the island that you can boil water in.
True. Good stuff. Unless you wait till it rains and you have rainwater.
There you go.
I mean, yeah, you can risk it.
You can risk it.
You can risk it.
You ain't gonna even make it a whole year. You ain't got to worry about it.
You got 8 ounces for like 6 days.
Hey, sip a day, a sip a day.
And actually, I gotta say this before I forget.
Yeah.
You're still on the air. You can change your pick from Carolina to Chicago. You can still save that pick. There's still time. You know what I'm saying? There's still time. Get you an extra point this week. Guessing the right game. You know what I'm saying?
I tell you what. No, but I say this. I will be willing.
Yeah.
If you guys win over Carolina, I would change my profile pick to Chicago's for a day.
That's the only backside. I don't got to do nothing if we lose. Deal. All right. Yeah, that works.
If you lose, hold on. I didn't finish. I was taking a breath.
Okay. I see you.
But if you lose, then I have a nice crisp A that you could wear for a week.
A week? You can change yours for a week?
3 days.
3.
No, I'm gonna make it fair. 3 days for you, 3 days for me.
Okay. Yeah. I'll take that deal.
So, if Carolina wins, you wearing the Arizona Scorpions logo, and I have a plethora for you to choose from because I typically win these, so I have a whole list of a whole entourage to choose from.
I'll let you pick. I'll let you pick.
Oh, that's even better. All right.
I'm confident.
And then, okay, cool.
Maybe.
So I already have it picked out for you in my mind. It's all good.
Okay.
I'll make sure you look good wearing my logo. Okay.
All right. Yeah, that works.
Paulie knows. Ask Paulie. Paulie knows.
I believe that he's probably gonna tell me. Yeah. See, now I'm definitely gonna be watching a little bit extra. I got faith. That's all I need.
What's up, Grant? Thank you for checking in. Hey, listen. Any given sim day, you know what I'm saying? It's and with the AI, they decide what they want to do. Sometimes it can happen. All I'm saying is either you can choose the silver. I got a nice silver scorpion logo, or you can the regular A that we got. I got you.
I got faith. I'll
Shout out, Grant.
When we win, I'll get you a nice Chicago helmet to have as a logo.
Okay.
Right here on the hat. This one right here.
That's cool. I'm not worried.
I can't say the same, but I got faith.
You got faith, man.
Carolina's a tough one.
Yes, but Carolina also has those moments where if like their offense, you don't know where. Sometimes you don't know which team is coming to play.
Yeah.
So I get that too. So there is that little air of mystery, but we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Riley
And we already got it.
Look, Riley Quintero's out there. I say, Riley Quintero's out there.
Every time I hear Riley's name, that just irks me. And now I love Riley. Don't get it twisted. As a person, love him. As a player, I want to wring his neck.
Yeah, Riley.
Yeah. I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you this week.
On offense, Riley Quintero's a problem. On defense, Sharon Prasad, he might be the best outside linebacker in the league, man. Like Carolina is dangerous.
Yeah.
I'll get Quintero for you this week, AJ. I got you.
Thank you.
If I see the field this week, I hope. Last week our game plan got mixed up a little bit, and we had an inactive player, what do they call it? Whenever they don't pay the subscription, you know what I'm talking about? And they
like a non-player, like a generic.
Yeah. Well, so somebody Telemac, he didn't pay his sub, so the substitution got mixed up, so it put a generic in his place instead of me last week. I guess Atlanta. So it was a whole thing.
What happened before I let y'all go? What happened to Telly? Did he say he was leaving or
no? As far as I know, he kind of just dipped out. I ain't heard much from him. I hope he's okay though.
Yeah, that's
I think he left. Like, and I think I would much rather see somebody. This is gonna sound weird, but I'll explain it. I'd rather see somebody like willingly leave the server than just be inactive and not say a word. Because if they leave, you at least know, hey, they're all good. They just maybe want to leave the league. Maybe it's not for them anymore. If they go inactive, then something might be wrong. So at least he made it known he left, as far as I know. So
okay,
at least he should be all right. But stuff happens to everybody. Life comes first, always.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But Telly, if you happen to watch this, man, just reach out and tell somebody that you're all right. That's all I'm asking.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to know what happened. I just want to make sure you're okay. That's it. But all right, guys, that is the end of the show. I was wondering, do you guys have anything that you want to say? I'm gonna give you guys a last word before we close. And so I'll start with you first, DJ. Any last words that you want to say before we go about anything?
Yeah, actually, I'll throw this out there since you're giving me the chance. I'm starting up a little side server. Zach knows a little bit about it because he joined it. And we were talking about it earlier. Survivor, it's a big TV show. I don't know if you've ever seen it, Ashley. I'm making
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I made a side server, and it's kind of part of the community I came from, is where people play Survivor online on Discord.
You still got there.
And I'm pretty prominent in that community. I've been doing that for a long time. That's how I got into the league. I met Marco Swift and Pauly Truth. They invited me to the league, so it's a whole thing. But I started up an SFL Survivor that people can play.
Nice.
It's basically just exactly what the show is. You watch it every week. So if anybody out there wants to play, shoot me a message. I'll send you an invite. It'll be a good time.
No, man, and make sure. Well, you already got it in the community channel, I think so.
Yeah, I posted.
If you want to send me the link too, I'll make sure. Awesome. If you want to send me the link too, I can put it in the description after the show posts on YouTube.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, be happy to do that. Right.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Yeah, you're a D&D fan. Did you see my D&D show I did?
No, I didn't. When was that?
I was on that show.
Were you?
Yes.
I missed that. I'm definitely going to go watch it, though. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It was a good show.
Yeah, it was. It was good because I kind of did a cosplay thing, so I was dressed up. And
heck yeah.
I learned a lot about it. My daughter's into it, and I just like, you know what? And then there's a lot of people in the league that are into D&D. So I'm like, all right, well, let's do a show about it.
It's a good time.
It is very, and especially if you have a really good imagination. Oh man.
Oh yeah, I play every Friday.
Okay.
It's a good time.
Okay.
Nice.
Zach, any last words for you?
I got a couple. Shout out to my New York Gargoyles, man. Number 1 in the SFLM right now. And so shout out to all those guys. Shout out to the homie Max Quimby, man. He's in the conversation for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Shout out to everybody, man. Look, just because you don't make the playoffs doesn't mean like your season is over. Everybody still has something to play for. Everybody still has something to fight for, man. So shout out to all the teams that are kind of outside the bubble and, just keep fighting.
Good words.
I missed that last part that you were saying because you kind of cut out.
I was saying, shout out to all the teams that, on the outside of the bubble for the playoffs. Even though you might not make the playoffs, you still got something to fight for. So shout out to all the players, all the teams that might not, have the greatest season this year, but still keep fighting.
All right, man. Thank you guys for being here, taking time out of your busy day, busy schedules, staying up a little bit later than normal with me, and I really do appreciate it. Shout out to you guys in the chat hanging out. I know it's kind of late over there on the East Coast. And I thank you for staying up with us and hearing these great gentlemen, explain themselves and how they do. What's up?
Shout out to Tyler Bobby.
That's right, you better.
Just for like staying up, chilling with me while I do this.
That's right. Even though I can't see her, I see a brick wall. It's okay. I'm let it go now. But good stuff, guys. Make sure you put your goodbyes in the chat, everybody. If you have any final words that you want to say and have me flash across the screen, I'll be happy to do it. So I got a few highlights that I'm going to show. I was trying to show it during the middle of the show, but it wasn't working. You know how it goes. So since we're getting ready to end things, I'm going to kind of end the show on highlights and a little bit of music. And y'all have a good night, okay? But thank you again for y'all being here, okay? All right. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. And I'm looking forward to bringing you another great podcast next week, y'all. But until then, y'all stay safe. Treat each other well. For Zach, for DJ, Stryker, we are out. See you soon. Enjoy the highlights, y'all.
Here comes the.
Could someone swing the rock? Wow, that play actually went right to Matthew Alvarado. Hey, go ahead and get a pick six. He's literally going to do it. There he goes. It's a player of the game, Matthew Alvarado.
Minnesota pursued by Roy Towers. Right, the roller was right. Needs to get away, but cannot. He's just stuck there. As Alvin Mack brings it down for the loss. They got 3rd and 15.
So if you see me put steak sauce on steak, it means it's no good. Flowers. Oh, another interception. Stinson picks it off. Flowers just can't get out of his own way tonight. He only threw 2 picks through the first 2 games.
On his feet right now is
on the team, another sack for LA. Defense comes to play now.
As it is going to be 2nd and 10. Lakers drops back.
The throw is going to be intercepted. Jay Martin.
Targeted 4 times. 2nd and 7. Patterson in trouble again.
Mississippi right up the C gap, untouched, unabated to the quarterback.
Man, that was
Yeah, fall back too close. You ain't even know me. Trust my brothers from way back from the north. It's me and the York. Spend it like they owe me. Gotta stay select. Don't come around to me. Better come correct. Different lives that we lead. I'm in the Nike check. In a bag of Louis V. Shoes on them up is, lights that make no sense, pop up for a minute, eyes up on my whip, Benzes and BMs, lights that make no sense, man, fall back too close, you ain't even know me, trust my brothers from way back from the north, it's the and the York, spend it like they owe me. Ain't no time unless it's real.
All this stuff is that stress to get in me, and it's closer to the chest when your pocket's too deep. Too drawn in my bed, guys that make no sense, pop up for a minute, eyes up on my whip, lenses and BMs, guys that make no sense, fall back too close, you ain't even know me, trust my brothers from way back from the north, it's the end of your, spend it like they owe me.